Hello guys and welcome to another Revising 5 with me, Mr. Schmalish. Today we're looking at 2.4, the marketing mix, specifically the product life cycle, advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so we're not going to talk too much about the product life cycle, that will be in another video. We're just going to look at the advantages and disadvantages because I know this has come up in an exam paper before and it's not really covered in the OCR textbook. Right, so just a quick reminder of what the product life cycle is. So there's 4 stages of the product life cycle according to OCR. There's actually 6 depending on which business spec you look at. The 4 you need to know for OCR is introduction, is where the business introduces their product, growth, where the product sales grow, maturity is where they hit their peak, and decline is when sales start to fall. Okay. And they have an option at maturity/decline to extend their product using various extension strategies, which will be in another video. Okay, so I put 4 cards on here to illustrate my point on the next slide. Okay, so as I said, we're not talking too much about the product life cycle, just an introduction of what it was. We're more focused on this. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? So a big advantage is it aids in decision making in advertising and pricing strategies. Okay, so for example, if you go back, you've got introduction, the Ford, there's a Ford Bronco, there's a brand new Ford. Okay, so if you notice in the introduction stage, what you might then need to do is increase your advertising because you need to get the name out there. Okay, with the pricing strategy, you might want to go in high with skimming, or you might want to go in low at penetrative, depending on the product. There's plenty of trucks out there, so Ford may well go in with comparator-based pricing or penetrative pricing. Okay. It can also help with forecasting sales if the business knows what stage of life cycle the product is in. So going back to that Ford Bronco in the introduction stage, they know it's in the introduction stage. They know sales are due to increase. So that means when they see an uplift in sales, they might then increase the price if they're doing penetration pricing, increase the price if they're doing penetration pricing, or increase advertising, or they might want to decrease advertising because sales of that product is growing, the awareness is out there. Okay, so they might not need to advertise as much, and it can give a competitive advantage over competitors. Okay, because the business can do product life cycles on their competitors. They can find out what stage their product life cycle is, what stage of the product life cycle a certain product is in, and then they can come out with products to counteract that. So if Ford did a product life cycle on Vauxhall, for example, they might have seen Vauxhall doing a 4x4 similar to the Ford Bronco, which is in the growth stage. So Ford might have thought, well, there's actually a lot of scope for 4x4 vehicles. We're going to make this Ford Bronco. And it's based on real sales data. Okay, so it's not a forecast, it's based on real tangible sales data, so you can see how well you've done. It's not an estimate, it's an actual figure. Okay. However, some disadvantages are there's fluctuations in sales data, making the product life cycle unreliable. Okay, so it ignores outside influences. For example, right now there's a pandemic going on. Sales of most businesses will have decreased because a lot of businesses have closed down for the pandemic. That does not mean their product life cycle is entering the decline phase. It just means obviously the business can't sell their products, so it ignores that. Okay. There's also might be a delay in getting sales data. Okay, so it relies on real sales data. If you get it in real time or just a slight lag, that's going to be really valuable too. But if you're getting it 5-6 months down the line, you might have missed the boat, and your product is in a different stage of life cycle. You might have missed an opportunity, and you can't capitalize on it. That's going to eventually lead to a decrease in sales. It ignores geographical differences. Okay, so Ford is an international business. Okay, certain types of vehicles do a lot better in different countries. For example, 4x4 big Ford pickup trucks, they are massive in America. So those types of trucks will either be in growth or maturity. Whereas here, we like the smaller cars like the Ford Fiesta. Going back to the product life cycle here, the Ford Fiesta and the Ford Focus, they're both in growth and maturity. So it does ignore geographical differences. So you'd have to do a product life cycle for every area or country, and ignores the actions of competitors. Okay, so you might see that your products are decreasing. Okay, that doesn't mean that the interest in your product is waning. It might mean your competitors put a sale on that month or that stretch of months. So, for example, Vauxhall or Mercedes or any other Ford competitors might have put a sale on that has led to a decrease in sales in Ford temporarily, but after the sale is off for competitors, sales will go up. So ignores those, okay? And you might falsely think that your product is declining, when in actual fact it's your competitors putting on a sale, okay? Hopefully that's made sense, guys. Hopefully this is valuable, because as I said, it has come up in the exam before. It's not really covered in the textbook. Have a great day.